Speaking about parliamentary benefits, of course, the headline yesterday on the Standard was big with regard to pension and the fact that MPs have now received a boost on their pension, a 700% boost, meaning that one-term MPs could be getting up to 18 million shillings once they exit. There's a headline in relation to that on page 11 of the Standard this morning. Kenyans say MPs don't deserve pension raise. Leaders also say hiked retirement benefits cannot be justified. Now, of course, Kenyans across the political divide are not happy with that provision. It would be nice to hear your views with regard to that. I'm sure you must have had that discussion yesterday. Alice.
We have not had the discussion, but we saw it in the media. I'm now not one-term member of parliament, so in any case, that may not apply to me. I believe they were talking about the one term that you serve and you go, and because, and let me say this, members of parliament are state officers. Their category in terms of the government ranking, the members of parliament are entitled to a house allowance or at least housing, because some of them come from, most of us come from our constituencies and come to Nairobi, and you also have a house in your constituency. They don't actually up to now have house allowances. How they have been living, I don't know.
This is the first time MPs?
Every MP when you come. And let's say, all of us, we don't have house allowance. I have served now, I'm serving my second term. Nobody has ever given me a house allowance. So in terms of pension, up to now, I'm not sure. We haven't even been told how much we shall get. But we are serving faithfully. And the work of working out that is the job of the Parliamentary Service Commission in consultation with the Salary Remuneration Commission. But the Salary Remuneration Commission should actually, our argument is that should deal with the issues of salaries, but allowances, these small packages of facilitating members of parliament, that is the work of the Parliamentary Service Commission. If there is any excess, we have not been told. And I mean, you know, sometimes you report things that we don't know. You know, you could even say we are earning 1.5 million. And we have looked at our salaries, it's not very
far from that.
We get very embarrassed. So, but let us agree
because
that once a member of parliament retires or exits, he has served 5 terms.
5 years.
It's 5 years, 1 term, and is unlikely to come back again. Or maybe after another. You have seen some of them looking very miserable.
Yes.
And I think Kenyans should be worried that any Kenyan should not have some earning. But I would not be part of the team that is saying we give, you know, how much does it arise to? I think
18 million shillings per member of parliament.
I don't think that is not
because
true.
Kenyans are reacting to the news that's not true. There's a huge budget allocation.
You know, it was actually reported last time.
18 million shillings, don't you think, for a one-time MP is a bit too much?
Actually, maybe Gladys, who was serving in the Parliamentary Service Commission, is better off. What I had, because these things have not come to Parliament, to the floor, and we don't know where you pick, the media pick some of these things.
They're talking about a budgetary allocation, so it must have been in the budget estimates, which passes through Parliament as well.
I don't know. I think we are yet, let's say, we are yet to see it, and it is important that even members of Parliament are aware, so that they could actually, because it's not us who approve. We don't even approve our own remuneration. Luckily, we don't, because you can see if we were to approve,
but possibly people... You do have some influence as far as that is concerned. Gladys, do you think that this is the way to go? Because now even the numbers are much bigger. We've even started discussions of whether or not should we cut down on the number of people representing us in the Houses of Parliament. But now saying that even one-term MPs, 18 million shillings.
For me, it is high, actually. Yeah? It would be high.
Yeah, well, what I'd like to say is that what I know from serving in the Parliamentary Service Commission the last 5 years is a lot of things concerning members of Parliament are misreported. In fact, things are just taken out of context, they are thrown out there, figures are splashed out there, and you therefore wonder where they've come from. I'd like to study those estimates. I was in Naivasha when I read that, so I want to study the estimates and see exactly what this 700% increase is about. But from my experience, a lot of things, so long as it touches on an MP, a lot of things are just splashed out there. What is wrong with an MP getting gratuity of 31% at the end of their term?
We're talking about
at the end of their 5-year
pension
term. What is wrong with an MP earning pension? I mean, what I'd like to look at is what those estimates look like and what they are meant for, and therefore respond once we have studied the estimates. But I know from serving in the Parliamentary Service Commission the last 5 years that 90% of headlines do not reflect the true state of things.
So media always lies when it comes to MPs paying.
Because we don't
There's a lot of exaggeration.
Because actually our staff, for example, and every person who is working on a gratuity, every person is entitled to that 1%, and that is not our rate; it's the government.
Yes,
it's SRC,
and even our staff that work in the office of the members of parliament. After 5 years, they are entitled to a gratuity of 31%, which is of their salary.
Okay.
And therefore, if MPs get, but I haven't seen, like Grades has said, some of these things we read and we get very amused.
But you said 18 million could be a bit.
It could be
on
a
the higher
bit.
side.
I don't know how it has been calculated, but from looking at it that way, it looks like a huge amount of money.
Okay.
It's good to see what is the formula.
Okay.
And then possibly moderate it.
Okay, let's now take a look at this headline that